I, Corvo Tillin, can confirm that each and every detail of the story is 100% factual. Please do not listen to Baghead. He is a convicted boy kisser for kissing Pedro Pascal, aka the Mandalorian, renowned for his role in The Mandalorian as the Mandalorian.
So one time I met Laura in primary school because she totally went to America before. And when she was in primary school, she chased down Herobrine and then she killed him and then she got expelled and she got banished back to Canada. And then you won't believe what happened after she went back to Canada. So after she went back to Canada, she went to the Forsaken Lands, aka Quebec. And when she went to Quebec, she went to the local bread store and she ate all the bread and she stole it all, and then she got chased down by the police for 30 minutes, and then the police never caught her, but she went to a volcano that's totally in Quebec, and then she went to Nova Scotia where there's a volcano, and she jumped into the volcano, and Laura's fire resistant, so she didn't die. So she ate all the bread in the volcano.
You said that Laura is fire resistant, but the bread was not fire resistant. How did she eat the bread in the volcano? You have to patch up these plot holes, Erza.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Bag. I forgot the most important part about the Laura story. So, when she entered the Nova Scotia volcano, her bread was also fire resistant because she got it from this, totally awesome bakery that sold fire resistant bread, and that's why the police were chasing her, because it was, so expensive, and, so she ate the bread in the volcano, and then she climbed out the volcano, and there was, a helicopter over the volcano, and it started shooting at her, so Laura pulled out a giant sword and threw it at the helicopter, and ended up killing 4 people. Bag lives in Florida, right? So one time Bag went to Orlando, and he went to Disney World, and in Disney World he went to the Star Wars area, and he met the Mandalorian, and he ended up taking his helmet off and then literally making out with the Mandalorian. What the hell, Bag? Ew, boy kisser. This guy's a boy kisser, and only his family saw this, and also at least 50 other people in the park, so people reported it to the news because this is a huge crime in Florida, and Bag got sent to prison for 45 years, and that's the story of why Bag is now, 153 years old? Yeah. So weird.
I was obviously framed. These are false accusations. I was never in jail, as it doesn't know what she's talking about, and everybody should stop listening to her immediately.
Okay, so continuing the Laura story, so after she killed 3 people, another helicopter showed up with a news reporter on it, and she was tempted to throw her sword because she totally had a second sword, and she noticed they were recording, so she was like, okay, no, I'm already gonna be charged with murder and so many felonies. So Laura ran away, and she ended up going undercover as a black cat, and she went to Florida, and then that's where the great, how do I put this in a simple way? Laura caused a tornado in Florida that destroyed thousands of people and thousands of homes. Laura literally made lives horrible, and no one knows this. I don't think the feds are ever know.
Where's
I
And that was on the Fallout Radio. Thank you, everyone. Anyways, returning back to the Baghead story, since he's trying to deny the allegations against him. So when Bag was in prison for 45 years, this guy's a little weird. This guy is like the black guy who, when you drop the soap, and he comes and does the heinous acts. Okay, so I'm switching to Baghead because Bag and Stun will never find me here. So continuing the Bag allegations. So since Bag was the black guy, when you drop the soap, one time there was this guy. He was like really tall, like 6'3" tall. And he had black hair, and he had a full black beard, and he was like the top dog in prison. So he went to go talk to, Bag went to go talk to this guy, and he introduced himself as Corvo Attillin. And so Baghead and Corvo Attillin started working together, and since Bag was obviously a crippling meth addict in this storyline, in real life, he went to Corvo Attillin for meth, and he continued to supply him with meth. And so, since Bag was getting meth from Corvo Attillin, one day it was becoming the nearing day when Corvo Attillin was finally getting out of jail. So Corvo Attillin and Baghead met up in one of their bunk rooms, and they sat down to talk, and Corvo Attillin broke the news to Baghead that he was leaving prison today, and then Bag watched him leave, and it was the saddest thing ever. And on that same day, Bag got called to a different room with a police officer, and they sat him down and said, "Okay, sir, you're going to have life in prison for kissing that Mandalorian at Disney World. That was a crime that is worse than murder, worse than genocide. Absolutely horrible." So Bag found this news out and absolutely started bawling. But Bag was about to be taken out of the room, and he was like bawling, like he was bawling so much. He had a basketball in his hands, and he was like literally bawling. So after Bag was bawling and they were about to take him out of the room, the entire building started shaking. Like, oh my god, Florida earthquake, no way. So everyone like literally had to get on their knees and just like go on the ground because like, oh my god, earthquake. But what ended up happening was like a giant earthquake ended up tearing through the fucking concrete building, like killing half of the inmates, killing half of the police officers. It was horrible, but like Bag was the sole survivor. But he was not. And when like the debris and smoke cleared, Bag looked up to the glorious heavens above, aka the prison, and saw Corvo Attillin and a 9-foot gorilla. And this 9-foot gorilla was not only any 9-foot gorilla, this was War Monkey himself. So War Monkey and Corvo Attillin stood side by side, and they ended up escaping prison all together. And they started like getting in a van, like a Ghostbusters van. They started chasing the tornado because they're like storm chasers. Like the monkey was an intelligent gorilla that had like funky glasses and a lab coat. And they started chasing. And that's what AK Monkey said. That's what War Monkey said as he was chasing the storm with his brethren, Corvo, Tillin, and Baghead. So they ended up like going so fast where they were like right behind the tornado, and they were like in the eye of the tornado, or what the fuck you wanna call it. And so while they were in the tornado, like Corvo and Tillin thought it was a good idea to get out of the van. And he like stood on top of the van, but he like ended up literally flying away. While he was flying away, AK Monkey grew a pair of wings, jumped through the windshield. He ended up flying. Like they had to get Corvo and Tillin, who was like flying around like he was a fucking like hula hoop or something, I don't know. And Bagwood decided to take the wheel and just fucking drive away because these two are fucking maniacs. Like even though he's like losing his like his meth supplier, he gained a truck, a car, a van, and then he ran away, drove away. But he decided to go to California.
What my little pass of just shit out my ass. So
That's the song that played on the radio as Bag was driving to California. As he was driving to California, that awesome song came on the radio, and Bag started dancing in his seat, and he started singing it because like that song was such a bop. And anyway, he arrives at California after escaping Tornado Belladonna in prison, and also away from War Monkey and Corvo and Tillin. So he decides to park the van and go to a bar. So Bag enters this bar, and what happens is he didn't read the sign because he obviously couldn't, because it was in a different language, like out of fucking world language that he couldn't understand. And this bar was like full of frogs. Like they had legs and everything, like they were human frogs, like. And the bartender was actually a crocodile. This crocodile looks at Bag and he's like, okay, this guy's a human. What the fuck is he doing here? So as Bag he decides to get 2 tequila shot, and he ends up downing it, and he's like, so he's doubting it, and then like this guy looks at him and he's like, having a rough day? Just like, yeah, I just like escaped the Belladonna tornado, and also I escaped these 2 maniacs that were like trying to force me into prison. The Bag was obviously lying, and this crocodile obviously had like lying. Really, he could understand what's up. Okay, so since the crocodile was like omnipotent and was able to tell that Bag was lying, he decided to pretend to go to the bathroom, and he ended up taking out his iPhone, because you know everyone has iPhones. And he takes out his iPhone and he ends up calling 911. So the cops come, and like while he's waiting for the cops to come, the crocodile exits the bathroom and acts like totally nothing is wrong. But Bag ended up leaving because he literally was dirt poor and could not pay for the tequila shots he ordered. So he ended up leaving before he could even pay. So that's when the crocodile like went outside the the bar, and like tried to chase Bag down, but like he was already in his van. He was like driving away. So then calls 911 again and says, okay, so the guy I just reported just ran away in this Scooby-Doo looking ass van. And the cops end up dispatching at least 2 different people, and they end up chasing back for, guess what, 30 minutes, just like Laura, the felon. So they're chasing Bag for 30 minutes, but Bag ends up crashing his car into a police officer, and while he crashed into a police officer, and he ended up killing a 3-year-old child, and also a 1-month-old child, and also their mother who was walking with him. So Bag, oh my god, he killed children too. So the police end up trying to chase Bag because he ran out of the car and tried to get away. As Bag is trying to run away, he ends up running into a huge parking lot, those grocery store parking lots. The pearly gates of fucking heaven. Bag sees this large grocery store. It's white and it has green. So he ends up deciding to enter this, and he's hypnotized. Oh my god, what is this grocery store? So as he enters the grocery store, he's looking around like he's fucking high. I mean, he probably is high, but yeah. So he ended up going to the front desk checkout area, and this guy looks at him are you okay? But Bag is delusional so much, and he says, hello, can I get a job here? And the guy is okay, and then he gives him all the shit he has to do to get a job. So Bag gets a job, and while he's in this place, he never finds out that he's being hypnotized to work at Publix, and the police are unable to enter the building at all. So this guy is just forever a fucking SCP and a slave to Publix. And that's the end of Baghead's story. Thank you for coming, everyone. Thank you. Story was not fake. That was real, and that was journalized by me, Urza.
Sometimes I just be scrolling through the group chat with my meat out,